Hello everyone, I'm Rob Smith, the Smith Black Channel here, Ticker Tacker with the Strat Time Report. Sorry about the little delay here, but it's still going to be relevant. So if we go here to start off the year, it's interesting. So if you go to the lower left, SPY 60, right? And so we open up. We knew about this broadening formation here from last week, right? On your 60-minute basis. So when we gapped up, here, the question is, can you hold that, right? Which it couldn't. So as it starts to drop through here, I'll blow this up for you so you can see it. We know that outside bars exist, do we? We do. So once this thing started going red and coming back through the range, we were looking to take this out at least. The good thing is you had more room to come back through because people are going to be long against obvious pivots like here and here and here and here. Wiped them all out, so you get this outside bar, which is a rejection of the gap, right? And then the continuation, 3-2 down to wipe them all out, right? And so when you have that type of situation going on and all the broader averages, like your Qs here, your Qs, that's a 2-2 reversal because this took out one side and then bam, right back through, and all this kind of stuff. So a lot of things, charts at first, are going to look like the futures because anytime you get a spike like that, you're going to get natural buyers and sellers backing off and just letting the futures do what they're going to do. So as it wipes down through, since we know this outside bar existed, right? So too, can we go to the daily here? And as soon as it started coming through here, we know we're going to go on outside day and wipe them all out in one shot. So you can see it takes out all of this stuff. The question, are we going to be weak enough to come down in here? Because then if you go to the weekly, you're going to see this, the outside weak, right? So the question then comes to the month. Going to be weak enough to take out last month's lows, right? Now, remember we had that bad tick in here. So if you go to UPRO, you'll see this is potentially an outside month now. So that's going to be a problem, right? So just like that 60, you might recall this one from last year on the monthly. This, the outside bar, the 3-2 bam slammer. And then what happened here? We went inside on the month and then came back up with the 2-1-2 reversal. So if we go to the SPY again, what you just saw was a simultaneous reversal on the 30-minute, right? So here, as we come down, you can see this getting slammed, and then the inside 30 here, right? And everybody was doing that QQQ inside 30 to the upside. So the thing about SPY and Qs is that now they stay inside 60, and you got a new hour coming here. So when it started to recover off those 30s, you can go after anything with an inside 30 that's still higher than its opening, right? That's good, like a Teslar's. Here you go, Tesla now inside in the 60, but you can see this. A whole bunch of 30s taken up here, inside the 30 and up, and it held above its daily opening right here, you see? And so that was a nice little 30-minute there. So, looks like, let's shrink this back down. Looks like the boys got a little bit mixed up on their signals here on the opening because we saw that SPY and Qs and everything tank, but they came out the chute trying to go after semiconductors here, and then they got caught up in the futures, right? So we know that they were thinking about buying them right out the chute here, and then you can see this is a 2-2 reversal here on the lower left. Goes up and comes back down, and they caught them in like AMD. AMD, if you go to the 15, you're going to see this, the inside 15, and right back down, and then here, this is the 2 up, the inside, and then down here is your continuation. You're inside 15 or to the lows. So still holding the month, right? But some of these things we'll see if they want to recover. So right now, we're going to drop back in. So this is what we want to look for here. So when we get the 30 going back up in the SPY, right here, stop these guys out, right? So then we wanted to go after like Tesla and anything that was staying green, right, from the opening. And then now, if we start to drop back in, which we are, right, we want to look for anything taking out the morning lows because anybody who bought down in here got what they wanted. They got the market to rally back a bit. But if your stock is still down here and starts to tank, we're going to take you out. So first things first, we need to take out this inside 60 or go inside again for the SPY. Because now that we stabilize by going inside, we should be able to pick up on some more natural buyers and sellers in different stocks as things mellow out a little bit. You got V-Ray. And V-Ray coming up, taking out lower middle, taking out last month's highs. And you'll look at the upper middle, and you notice this inside week. pokes down, and then boom, rev strat to the upside, still going. We'll see if this thing cools off to get us a nice entry. Here's what you look for on the 15. Corrective activity, down two, two down, right here. Right back up. So you get the reversal here by taking out the low and then taking back out the high. Then you can get the continuation on the 15 here. Two up, inside, and off she goes. Nice little move there, V-Ray. If we go to the gapper list, I always like to point out the things that we look for right out the chute, right? And so if you go right out the chute, you're going to see this. Call this Momo Hammer, right? Gap up. I think it's going to fill the gap, do you? And anybody got short in here, boom, runs into natural buyers here. And then you just walk it up, lower 15, lower 15, lower 15, and outski right here, and see if this thing sets up again for you. If we go to Gild, and Gild, you can see stayed green from its opening here, right? Still inside the month, but you're taking out last week's highs in the upper middle, coming up, and you can see this inside 30 right here. Right there. It stayed green on all time frames after the market tanked and then got the nice recovery with the market coming back. We got a little bit of the weed firming up here too. CGC taking out inside day to the upside after an outside day, trying to upper middle, trying to take out last week's high. Still handling an inside month, but we'll see if anything more comes of that. If we go to Walmart, V-Ray to the highs. And Walmart, once again, here you can see upper middle, trying to take out last week's highs here, above 145.84. Want to see if get back above that. If you go to the upper left, you're going to see the rev strat day. The inside day, the poke down, boom. Magnitude was to take these guys out, but hopefully you get some more because of that inside week and come back through the range. So when we get those 30s coming back up, all you got to do is pull up your Walmarts and say, is this still green on the day in all time frames? It is. Then you get your 30 hammer here, bam, you're in. Off she goes. We'll see how Walmart does going forward. ACMR, little guy. And ACMR here, that's not the little guy, it's the AMRS. ACMR, the Randy Jackson pattern. My friends coined because here, inside month, right? Pokes up, two, then here, tried to go the 1-2-2 rev strat down here, but fails and comes back up. So now that we take this out, going to see if we can take these guys out here, 97.97. We'll see if that sets up. You got all month to try and look for those setups. Stuck in here a little bit, so we'll see if that sets up again. Trying to keep an eye on these futures, see what they want to do. Still stuck on those 60s. So eventually those are going to need to break, and when they do, we'll be ready for it. Little guy, AMRS. And AMRS, here you can see last month in the lower middle, the inside month, the poke down rev strat, boom, takes these guys out. Now, still going, and it comes off of here, upper left. The inside day measured mover, up, sideways measured move. We'll see if that sets up again for you. All right, always running out of time. I tell you, you got Walgreens here also, taking out last week's highs, still inside of the month, so we're going to see if we can get this break in the lower middle. Take this out, 43.66. All right, keep an eye on these futures. All right, we got gold starting off the new year, holding up in the gapper here, right here. So we'll see. We can watch some of them names like J-Nug just kind of sitting here, but trying to go to the highs. But gold does hold that initial gap. If we go to ZM, starting off the year, now backs off a bit here. Now you can see the inside 60, which you can see this here. Starts off the year with its broadening formation like so. The good thing for ZM was it did take out Friday's highs. So that's something you'd want to know about because we got hit pretty hard here. So if anybody can still take out Friday's highs, is something we want to know about, especially if they can get back up over there and give us another signal. We had the crude. Crude giving us the outside day, and you can see this here in the lower left. The inside 60 back up, it's stuck in here. So to start off the year, UCO here will be our broadening formation to keep an eye on, like so, this, because these are an outside bar of all that, right? Yeah, that's true. So if we go to the downside, they hit some of the big boys right out the chute. You got Apple, and Apple, so once they started hitting them, we want to know about anything taking out last week's or last month's lows. Those guys, the guys are in trouble, right? And so right now, Apple's a 2-2 reversal here on the week, and that's going to be all week below 131.72. If we go to Boeing, so Boeing, the combination here, and we always want to look for combinations. So if we go to the combination, you see the inside week upper upper middle, inside week to the downside, back through the broadening formation, just like that Apple formation on the weekly. On the monthly, you got Boeing's slight higher high, shooter, 2-2 reversal down month. And that's going to be below 210.30 for the rest of the month. Is something I'm going to want to know about here in Boeing. All right, market's still trying to firm up a tad here, so let's see who stays strong, who don't. FedEx does its job. We were looking for this last month, and sometimes they just run out of time. And what I mean by that is you'll see this month in the lower middle goes up, and it was coming down to be an outside month. It just ran out of time. So now these two bars are an outside bar of this, right? So we'll see if that gets any worse. We can watch that with the trannies here, which are trying to take out last month's lows and the transports, and that's going to give you your UPS here, trying to take out last month's lows. RevStrat inside, then up, then back down here for the rest of the month in the lower middle below 163.63. It's also going to give you United Airlines here, taking out last month's lows. So the transports teetering here a little bit to start the month below 42.43, and you can obviously watch all the airlines with that. All right, market trying to take out that inside 60 to the upside for a 212 60-minute reversal in the SPY here. So for the next hour, if it gets over 368.25, just kind of sitting there right now. QQQ here, back up over 308.54. You're there now, so we'll see if they can get out of there and how much they want to firm up. If you go something to like ICPT, had a few druggies coming up. In ICPT here, if you go to the daily, upper left, once again, once something pokes down and changes color and goes back to a previous range, we're looking for an outside day to take this out. 2083 or almost there, or 2683, almost there, and it's almost outside weaker here too. Right, above 27.19. So ICPT trying to firm up to start off the year. If we go to Microsoft, and Microsoft still inside the month in the lower middle, but you can see that taking out last week's lows. That's a 2-2 reversal. That's something you're going to want to know about. All right, so these 60s gingerly trying to take out these highs on the SPY. Here's the thing: how are you going to turn the day green, even if it does go? Right? It's something we want to know about, but how are you going to turn this day green? We opened on the pretty near right on the highs, nowhere near taking that out. So the most constructive thing would be to have an inside day tomorrow, right? And we know that we've got the Georgia runoff and all that kind of fun coming up, electoral vote. So certainly they spooked them right out the chute. But let's take a look at TTD. TTD got slammed here too, and remember we talked about this when this was occurring in the weekly upper middle. Two up, and then boom, the pivot machine gun to take these guys out. Then the question is, it going to stay weak? And if it's going to stay weak, and that's going to give you a reversal in the month in the lower middle. That's a 2 up and a 2 down here. So for the rest of the month below 796.06 gets my attention in TTD, and they hit it pretty hard right out the chute, as you can see, like a lot of things now inside on the 60, trying to firm up just a bit. Just watching my scan here, PAAS coming up towards the highs. We also had, let me see what else we got on that list. Tiger. And Tiger just pokes up here a little bit, trying to get out of here. Taking out last week's highs. Nice little run, had a little spiker here. I don't know if that looks a little newsy. I'm always running out of time, so let's stake on the SPY. All right, we got this inside 60. Can you break above that and stay there? Right, and then when this hour closes out, either side of this is going to get my attention, because now I got potential back to the downside. If that happens, you're going to look for stuff taking out the lows like BMRN here going to the lows right now, potential outside day, right? So we're constantly going back and forth. They're willing to go either way, but for the most part, things got hit pretty hard, and in order to recover that is going to take a little work. So if you're going to go long, stick with things that are higher than they open. All right. If you're going to go short, when they roll down, anything that's taking out the morning lows. Got it? Got it. All right. Well, I hope everybody has a happy new year. I'm Rob Smith, the Smith of the Black Channel here at Ticker Talking with the Strat Time Report.